Good evening, this is your Psychic LG reporting from the United Kingdom. Is anybody there? Knock once for yes, twice for no. Hello, hello, hello. It's 11:05 p.m. Heading towards the witching hour, UK time. Hiya, doll. Hi there. Is it Thelma? Hiya, Stooge. Good morning in Japan, Kiko. Lovely to see you all. What's the weather like in Japan? Good morning in Australia. I want to say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you all are around the world. It's Sunday evening, UK time, 11:06 UK time over here in the UK. And it's pretty wet. It's pretty a damp night. Hiya there, Patriot Woman. Hiya, you World Order. Good evening, afternoon, morning to everybody. Hiya, Lance. I'm feeling much better. Much better. Can you hear us okay? It's been my day off today. I've just been with family, but we didn't go shopping because there's loads of flu bugs flying around and everything. I've still got Christmas shopping to do. I'm going to have to do some online this week. How are you all doing? I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the dark days before Christmas, and we tend to have dark days over here in the UK. I was talking to one of my lovely clients last night in Sweden. He's had the dreadful fog. There's been fog all over the UK, and we always get it here in Newcastle because we're not far from the Tyne, which is the fog on the Tyne, as you know, like the song, which the Tyne runs off from the North Sea. But it's even been foggy in London, like old London town. So I don't know what's going on. We're going to look into the weather tonight. You've been drying, you're washing? But you've been using your tumble dryer, bud, because it's going to be snowing up north. Yeah. Well, I've got to get my mum and dad's present. I want to get something I'm going to put money in the card for Ethan. That's Paul's son. But he's in a relationship now. He's engaged to be married. So obviously I'll give it for him and his wife-to-be. Lovely Rain. Very pretty girl, and she's tiny, and he's nearly 7 foot. They're so cute together. God bless them. And then who else have I got to get? I've got to get a few bits and bobs for the lads. I've got to get Lammy, my daughter-in-law. Just bits and bobs, really, guys. Bits and bobs, mum and dad. My mother wants Harry's new book, but that's not out till the new year, so I'll have to get her something to open for Christmas. I'm going to order her the book. Have you heard that Harry's book's causing a storm? Apparently Harry and William are falling out, so I'm going to look into that tonight, see what's going on there. Is it snowing in Washington State? How are you all keeping? You've pre-ordered yours? Wow. Well, just goes to show I didn't even know about it because I take no notice, and my mother was saying she would like it. So I'll get her that. But she's all perfumed up, you know. She doesn't go anywhere, so I don't know what I'm going to get her. I'd always get my dad a jumper and bits and bobs. But I didn't fancy going around the shops today with all the coughing and sneezing. So I'm just going to look online. Zeta says there is a huge tsunami for the UK in weeks. Do you see anything? Oh, I'll have a look. I bloody hope not. Tsunami of what? Water? William and Kate looked great during their visit to the USA this week. Oh, yeah. Handsome couple. Well, I'm not going to buy it, but my mother wants to buy it. John, I'm going to look into Elon Musk tonight in Trump with Twitter, because one of my lovely clients, Michael, is emailed us at, apologies, I haven't got bad ears. I go from, as I always say, I go from platform to platform answering people. And I've got to get back to Sonia in Australia, because I'm doing stuff behind the scenes as well. You know, I do healing for people and everything. It's just been one of them busy times. I'm going to have to take a day off or so to do some books. It's just so busy. I don't like this time of year running up to Christmas. I don't know about you guys. I like it when, I know it sounds a bit crazy, and don't get us wrong, I like Christmas, but I like Christmas when it's over with. I like Boxing Day. I don't know what you guys think. I think Christmas can be a very sad time of year, but also a very happy time of year, depending what you've gone through. But I think when people have coped with grief, or it can be a very sad time of year. You like New Year? I'm not keen on that either. I know the Scots. I'm just going to turn my heating down before we start. Going from one extreme to the other. Last week when I was feeling poorly, I was freezing cold and shivering, and I'm having a blinking hot flush. Give us 2 minutes. I'm just going to turn the heating down. I'm trying to get the temperature right here. There, that's better. And keep an eye out, guys, if Luke Jones comes on, because apparently not last week, the week before, my lucky boy had come into the stream and he was saying, "Hi, Mom," and I didn't see him say hi, Mom, and I was like, "Oh, I've missed my Ben. I've missed my baby boy, my big boy." So if anybody sees Luke Jones in this forum, just remind us on if I'm talking on. My lovely boy. Boxing Day and Bank Holiday. Yeah, and then it just starts again, doesn't it? With all like the pushing of the sales and everything, and it's just that the whole shebang of the whole money making system, it just annoys us. Yeah, Twitch is playing up tonight. Putin fell downstairs this week. Goodness me. I fell downstairs, and I fell at the front door as well, because I've got this new shiny flooring. I just had to get a mat. He laughed. And I'd washed the floor, and then my milkman came. And what I do now is I put the crates out for him the night before, and I had put the crates out, and I was walking through, and I forgot the floor was wet a little bit still, and I slipped with the milk crate in here, and I did the splits. The last time I did the splits, I was about 16. And I was wedged on the floor in the split sort of position, and I couldn't get out. I couldn't get up. Never mind. It's a funny time of year. So I'm going to look into Elon Musk, Trump, as usual. I'm going to look into what's going on in the Biden area. I'm going to look into the weather. I'm going to look into Harry, what's going on. And I'm going to look into, I'm not keen on him, but I think it's very bizarre what's going on at the minute. I'm going to look into Kanye West. Oh, I don't know. Hutton maps. I don't know about that. I'm going to look into Iran as well. I want to see what's going on there. I'm going to look into China again. I'm just going to try my best tonight, because I know we didn't get much done last week. Oh, thank you. I haven't been up to much. I've been dancing. I don't know if I've got it. I don't know if I've got it on me. A little recording. Oh, that's what I've been doing today. So there's the little one, and she likes to dance to Mamma Mia. Baby Shark. That's what I've been doing this afternoon, as you can see, playing Baby Shark. And of course, I'm Grandma Shark. Yes. She likes to dance with her grandma. So there you go, that's what I've been doing. She's absolutely adorable. She's, as everybody who knows me, they know I'm a big fan of ABBA, or always have been. I'm ABBA mania, and I like the film Mamma Mia, and I've got her onto the song Mamma Mia, and she loves it, and we quite often dance to that as well. But yeah, that's what I've been doing this afternoon, and playing Barbies, and you know, the usual. Have you heard it? Yes, I heard about the volcano in Indonesia. No, I said there would be a second volcano would go off, didn't I? I love ABBA. Oh, I love it. Fernando, yeah. Hey, that takes us back, Muse. Fernando. I think I was 9 years old, and it was a Christmas, and I got my first cassette player. Remember the cassettes? I used to record the top 20 on a Sunday from the radio. And I remember thinking I was the bee's knees, walking around with my hot pants on and my little cap. And I had and it was the ABBA tape I had. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. You will be blessed with grandchildren. Well, my daughter-in-law's put a Christmas tree up. I haven't put it up yet. I've got a plug-in one. I give my fancy big one, which I had when the boys were little, with all the toys on and that, which takes forever to put up, a massive, huge spruce. I gave it to Georgette Lammy, that's my daughter-in-law, for the little one with all the toys on and that. And I've just got a plug-in thing. I just can't be arsed. I just like, easy peasy, just plug it in and go. You loved your cassette player. Did you have one as well? Same age, yeah, we must have got. Did you get one for Christmas as well? Of course, you're from a different area. The kids around this area, going back to that time, like the 70s kids, we had a shop called Jodie Jeans, and everybody got Jodie jeans, you know. It was a fab shop, that. You would have loved it, Lance. Jodie Jeans. Is any Jodies in the audience tonight? So there's something funny going on with Kanye West. I don't know what you guys think. I know he's got mental health problems and that. But I mean, he looks like he's lost the plot, doesn't he? Did anybody see the bizarre interview that he had with Alex Jones? My God. Do you remember Jodie Jeans? Did they have Jodie Jeans anywhere else, or was it just Newcastle? Oh, I'm so sorry about that. My poor daughter had her 4th miscarriage. Wonder if it relates to vaccine. Might not be. Could be that she just needs a little stitch, or she needs some help. I'm going to look into the US for you. The way he's saying it's wrong, isn't it? But I want to look into, I'm going to obviously do some scrying tonight. But I'm going to ask the cards with certain questions, because you can't ask the ball. And I want to see what I get. If he's being sort of something else going on, or is it just his mental health? Because You know, there's strange stuff going on this planet at the minute, and I just want to say there's an interception with something. Like, you know, like mind control or something like that, or I just want to see what's going on with him. Because when you think about it, the first time he kicked off was on stage, wasn't he? When he was calling out that other rapper in Beyonce. And then ever since then, everything went downhill for him. And you just don't know, do you? You really, really don't know. But somebody who's wide open with mental health is more prone to being intercepted with. What do you think about Twitter files that were released confirming election? Oh, I don't know. I'll have a look. What is wrong with Simon Cowell? He looks like a zombie. Does he? You were 13, Muse, were you? I'll have a look. I'll see what's going on for you all. So we've got 216 people in. Give us a few more minutes and we'll get started. What is going on with Simon Cowell? Has he been on the television? Do you not mean patriot misinformation, or do you mean parrot? Because you've written parrot, purple women's. Cowell has work done. Oh, dear me. Well, you don't know with this QAnon thing, do you? It's like it sort of messes with people's heads. But I mean, even Alex Jones looked shocked, didn't he? And that says something. Oh, God. See, I think they make so much money, and then I think they just go silly with all this work they get done on their faces and that, don't they? But I just want to check into his energy field, because the media is not going to let this go with what he's recently said. I mean, quite rightly, what he recently said. I don't agree with anything that he said. But they're not going to let it go. So I just want to see what's going to happen with it, what's going to unfold. So I want you to all sit back and relax. And let's look into the looking glass. Did you like my last looking glass prediction? Can you see you're falling apart? It's going to be wobbled. It's going to be wobbled. Good morning in Japan. He's got snow yet. Now look into the currency. Well, as you know, I mean, everybody's worried about all the virus stuff and that. Whatever you believe in. I mean, I've told you, I've never been jabbed. You know, I'm not anti-vax. I just anti-stupidity, whatever you want to call it. But apparently there's loads of nasty stuff going around at the minute. So I would recommend, if you're like me and you haven't been vaxxed, definitely pump up on your... Well, anybody really, even if you have been, just pump up on your vitamin D and all your vitamins. Just be sensible, really. Because it is flu season. Get some sun, yeah, vitamin D. Is it D3 or is it vitamin D? But literally last week, I was absolutely fine on the Friday, and then all of a sudden it just went boom, straight over us. Boof, straight away. Fine 1 minute. You know, like normally you feel grotty before you're going to get something. And I just had this horrible attack of sneezing. I couldn't stop. And it was like a fit of sneezing. Really weird. It didn't come to anything, so it wasn't like a normal cold. And then obviously I'd sneezed that much. I think I'd like pulled a muscle in my chest wall muscle and my back. I literally couldn't breathe. It was horrible. My neighbour, he's in his 80s, and he had the same thing, and he ended up in A&E. My mother took a fit of sneezing and burping at the same time. And apparently there's something going around where people are having a sneezing fit because the doctor at the A&E said that there's an outburst of sneezing, people having sneezing fits. How bizarre is that, guys? But I feel loads better. So there you go. You've had a coughing one, have you? I just felt dreadful. I mean, I had COVID at the start of it. And I had the most dreadful pains in my legs. I couldn't hardly walk. And then the back and the legs, I've never had pains like it. And I'll be honest with you, with this sneezing fit that I had the pains in the legs come back. So you don't know what we're fighting off, really, do you? You don't know what's going on. So anyway, then you are fine. Sometimes I think if you can nip the fever in the bud and get, on top of it with whatever you take. I mean, I'm not a one for taking tablets either, but in situations necessary with temperatures, it's best to keep your temperature down. So I just took paracetamol every 4 hours. And drank loads of fruity teas and drank loads of water and that, and I was absolutely fine. Okay, so I'm going to look into everything. So I just want you to all sit back and relax. A lot of people have been getting a lot of strange pains, haven't they? There's definitely something not right with the atmosphere, isn't it? You can get antiseptic nasal spray. All right, Yeah, I sound a bit snotty now, don't I? Just talking about it. Is there a shortage of paracetamol in France? So I'm a big believer in salt baths. I mean, obviously, don't jump into a hot salt bath if you've got a blinking temperature. I'm a big believer in garlic, which I was taking when I was unwell. When you cook the garlic, the alyssum, the bit of the green bit in the middle of the clove, if you cook that, it takes the natural antibiotic properties out of it. But if you can try and have it raw, so see if you're feeling unwell or you feel like you're coming down with something. Some people can have it raw, but sometimes it can give you indigestion. But just if you like, say, make some butter toast and just put the green raw bit of the alyssum in on the butter so you can stomach it. And raw garlic, that part of the raw garlic is a natural antibiotic. It's a natural antifungal. It kills all known bugs and everything. It's really, really good. And if you're going back to when we had the plague in old London town and, around the world, the plague, the people who stored the garlic in the cellars, they never caught it. And the sailors on the ships, they never caught it, where the garlic cloves, the bulbs were stored on the ships and that. So garlic is very, very good. Oil of oregano, I've heard that's very good as well. It's a miracle. It is like a tiny little bit of miracle, Trish. Yeah, you're right. What's the little green bit, what's inside of it. And I tell you another good tip, keeps the vampires away, exactly. It works I suppose even if you've got ducted air, because not everybody has like radiators like this, but like it works in the winter. Even I suppose if in the summer, if you have like the aircon on. So you get a whole bulb, always have garlic in your house, and peel the whole bulbs, all the segments of it, and squash it if you've got the heating on. Squash it onto your radiators, like depending, like a couple on if it's a big radiator. Put it around the house, and then put your heating on, and then your house will smell like a pizzeria. But I swear down, it kills any air bugs, and it means that nobody else in the house will catch anything off you. It just eradicates it. And it really works. And then if you can eat raw garlic, if you've been around somebody who's had flu, it just eradicates it away. Really helps. So it's a natural antibiotic. It's a natural antibiotic. Onions are supposed to be good as well, but not as good as garlic. I fancied growing it. I mean, we go off to little country walks in the woods over here and you can get it like raw, just, wild growing. I think I might grow my own garlic. Elderberry, So all these things that we need to pump into it. I've been eating a lot of blueberries, honey, stuff like that. So, yeah, let's see what's going on anyway. Oh, does it? Cutting onions and putting them around the house. I know if you cut onions and put them near your back door, it keeps skunks away from your back door and cats, tomcats, they don't like it. Like that horrible smell of the spray at your door. So you just put the garlic, the onion, chopped onion, and they'll not come near your door. So let's have a look. Let's see what's going on in the looking glass tonight. Skunks. But we don't get skunks around here. We get foxes, hedgehogs, rats. Lots of rats running around. Mice, field mice. I'll click that on later and I'll have a look at Simon Cowell. He's probably gone too far with something. No, we don't have, you might be able to get a pet possum, but we don't have possums or raccoons. We don't have skunks. I don't think we do anyway. We'll have badgers, foxes, lots of foxes running around. That type of thing. And lots of cats, lots of alley cats running around late at night. And we have deer running around. Not so much in the town. There has been the odd time that they've come into the towns. Weasels in the woods, yes, we do get them. Ferrets is another one we have over here. I used to have a pet ferret. She was called Maisie. She was really cute. And then I had Ronnie and Reggie, but I had to let them go because they were naughty. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so remember, I can't ask. Let us know if my Luke Jones comes into this audience tonight. I don't know if he's watching or not because it's his night off. Mr. Jones. Just want to say hi to my boy. He's probably he'll be on Twitch, but he might be playing a game because he does gaming on here. Okay, because he does night shift, but he's not on night shift tonight. Which I'm glad, because as a mother, I don't like him all night in this freezing cold in a coal factory, Right, let's have a look. Okay, so my last world predictions, I had said that after the volcano in Hawaii, that there was another one to come off. And someone just says that's just happened in Indonesia. I didn't know about that. My God. Right, straight away I'm getting that there's huge news coming in with Russia. And I want you to remember the 15th or the 16th. When's that? Let me have a look. That's next week, isn't it? Not next week, the week after. There's going to be some huge news coming out global. 2 sets of global news to come out. But I'm getting something about Russia here. I'm seeing a motorway or a highway. And I get problems on a highway with something. And, excuse me, something about something falling. Looks like a break in the road. I hope it's not an earthquake. You don't normally get earthquakes around this time of year, do you? Problems with a highway. I want you to remember that. Now, I don't know if that's coming in before Christmas or into the new year, but just remember that. And as I'm saying that, I'm drawn to the USA, but I'm also drawn to China. So remember that. Something is definitely going on more than meets the eye to do with Twitter. Something's definitely going on there. And I've been saying this for a while, that Elon Musk is up to something to do with Twitter. There's like a switchover happening, and I see other people coming in on the situation. Michael, who emailed us, asked us, is it possible Trump could be going in on it? Don't know. I'll have to pull the cards out on that one. Is it right that Truth Social is supposed to be going down? All is not what it seems. There's a hidden war going on behind the scenes. I'm getting attack. But it doesn't look good for Trump on Truth Social. The Twitter files were released. I'll use that with the cards for that one. You know, this is really strange. You've got to understand, I can't ask the ball like you can the cards. But you know when, I don't know if there's any Catholics in the audience tonight. But you know, like if anybody goes to see the priest, you go and you sit there and there's like a mesh thing. And there's a confession. I don't know if anybody's done that. And I'm seeing a big divide of like a confession. It's bigger than that. It's like a great big screen. This is what Spirit's shown us in this crystal ball. And people confessing on one side of reality. And a lot of things being exposed. It's like there's a big screen and then there's lots of people all lined up and they're confessing. It's really strange. A lot of secrets. Huge news coming in with the crown. Huge news coming out to do with King Charles. So I don't know what that is. And there's more baby news to come out as well. Okay, so I'm seeing the logo changing on Twitter. I see problems where it could crash or it could go down because he's ploughed a lot of money out and he's changing it. And he's combining it with something else. This is really weird. I think Elon Musk is in connections with Trump. I think that there's something going on behind the scenes. Got messages coming in left, right and centre. I'm getting the letter P, where there's big news with the letter P. In the letter T, there's going to be a storm what's going to approach, and Twitter's in the middle of it all. There's some big news to come out. That's what I'm being shown, big news. So it's like he's going to reinvent Twitter and combine it. Maybe you should check your messages in case it's urgent. We can wait. Oh, no, it's not. It's just somebody booking in for an appointment, sweetie. That's okay. It goes all night. It goes all night. Family would ring if they need us. That's so strange. My God. So it's like there's some big news. Right, how can I explain this? There's some big news to come out with Twitter. There's big news to come out with Trump. And then there's a connection, and then there's big news to come out with somebody else. And there's going to be everybody's arguing about it. At the same time, there's going to be big news to come out with Russia. And I want to say it's not that far on. January, February is interesting. And as I'm looking into this crystal ball, what's coming out of the crystal ball is I'm seeing recession. But if there is a recession, people have asked us to look into the US dollar as well. It's short. It's short-lived. Don't forget, there's a switch over happening behind the scenes, right? And behind the scenes there's a switch over happening, so the system is going to wobble. So I feel the dollar will drop, but then it will bounce up again. I do see intermittent blackouts here, and I am concerned about that. And certain states of America could have this too. But I would have thought by law that they've got to warn yous. So again, the old system is falling and the new one's coming in. So that there's like Warlord said, it's the end of the Federal Reserve dollar, maybe. But people, not everyone's going to say it like that. Do you know what I mean? Some people are just going to think, oh, that's dropped and now it's okay again. Because like I say, everybody's not meant to know everything. It's funny because I'm seeing China on high alert with something, and I haven't checked the news. I couldn't even tell you what's going on. The last time I looked last week, there was problems with the Chinese people. Excuse me. The Chinese people were in an uproar, weren't they? Hi, Paula. But I'm seeing the Chinese government trying to shut China out down again. And I see an uproar. Something about borders. Bloody hell. I've got my new phone stuck over there on Apple. Still waiting for it. Something about trade. There's something going on with China and Russia and problems with trade. And I still feel China's going to fall out with Russia. I've said this for a long time. I see like heads of the beast falling out. Then there's this man, and I picked up on this on my looking glass. And he looks like he could be Russian, but Putin's going to have a problem with him. He looks like a military man. He's got lots of medals, somebody quite high up. And this man's worse. This man Putin is scared of. I've never claimed that Putin's been a good guy. You know, I've always gone my own way. There's three heads to this beast. There's three heads to this snake. Have I got my tiny teacup today? No. Okay. We are about to witness the fall of the old. And I sort of see, in a strange sort of way, where there's been problems recently with Arizona, with the results with Carrie Lake. I don't think she's conceded, has she? Or is that what the... I see more problems to come. But I've been saying this for a while. They're going to get so much on Trump, but they're going to go for people. I've said this for months, but they're going to go for people around him. And the latest one, I believe, is a judge or something, wasn't there? There's a judge. Crazy weather. Where I see one snowstorm, it's like, is it the same one? I want to say ice storm. There's like an ice storm coming in, but there's possibly two. Oh, thank you, Mystery. I'll look into Hunter Biden for you, Hunter Mats, don't worry. There's possibly two. And it's going to be on world news. Now, I don't know if I'm looking into the end of the year, the beginning of next, but it's like it's talked about all of the news, like this storm's coming in from this direction, this storm. There's two storms at the same time. There's two storms. There's two storms at the same time. For a lot of the questions that you are asking, I might have to pull the cards. All right. Storming of FBI again, I see that. More investigations. WM, I want you to remember this. And I'm seeing the lion in this. Now that's like the lion is the UK, isn't it? The lion? Is that something to do with banks? The lion. I'm going to look into Biden tonight as well. Yeah, they're going to try and push on another flu thing. So just pump up on your vitamins, guys. Don't feed into the fear. Just think immune system. I mean, I would try and avoid, if you can, crowded places. There's always been flus flying around this time of year. I know everybody can't shop online, but just try not to go into too crowded places if you can. Because I mean, even a head cold can make you feel miserable. Do you know what I mean? That's not necessarily true, Wilkahoti, because people are getting sick who haven't been vaccinated as well. I think it's just, there's all sorts going on. Do you get panic attacks in crowds? Oh God. Have you heard my tummy? Sometimes when I'm channeling you, my tummy makes a noise. Right, so I don't know why I'm seeing military lined up Taiwan. Military lined up North Korea. In China, and there's going to be threats of attacks coming in. But then I'm seeing, this is really weird. Now, I normally look on no more than a couple of months with a ball, definitely no more than 2 years, but it seems very clear. But I'm seeing fighter jets, Navy ships, US Navy ships, and allies coming in. What is kicking this off? Trade, problems with trade. My tummy's making a right noise tonight, isn't it? Okay. Right. What I'm saying is Kim Jong-un setting another one of his rockets off again, okay? But it's coming in too close somewhere. And I see problems and people upset in South Korea. But there's going to be problems. What I'm saying is problems and fallout, and it's got something to do with Putin, Xi Jinping. And I'm getting a red and white flag. A red and white flag. Something going off in the ocean, and I see problems. But where fighter jets will go out, they'll turn around and come back. And I've said this for a while, where there'll be some politician will make a clever move. Going into the UK here, I just see like a bleak, dark cloud looming over the UK. And I see a lot of angry people as the the temperatures drop in the UK. Our bills rise dramatically. And there's going to be a lot of problems here. I'm going to see number seven in the UK, which could be July or it could be the 7th of the month, is going to change. And I'm seeing voting. It doesn't matter if you're vaxxed or you're not vaxxed. Everybody's got to be kind in this audience, right? This is a healing community, and we've got to keep upbeat. So people haven't had a choice. All right. And I do believe that this is the bigger systems wanted people divided. The bigger systems wanted people to squabble. And I really do believe that we can come through this. I've never been worried about that. I'm more concerned about something else, what's out there. January the 7th, I really don't know. It's something about number 7 is going to bring huge news in with the UK. But I see voting again. Voting. Okay. Just having a little look here, guys. There's something weird going on. There's more problems coming on the border of Texas. So much corruption going on. I'm seeing cartel and everything. And it's on a lot of borders, you know, guys. It's on a lot of borders. But you can remember when Trump said that there was a lot of trouble, a lot of bad things going on the borders. It's just awful. Yeah, the horrible trafficking and everything. But you know, I keep saying it's all the same penny, two different sides. It's all the same penny, two different sides. I've had this before where I get the Himalayas. Can you hear us all right, guys? Can you hear us all right? I'm seeing marching in Canada, and I don't know what that is. And it looks really cold, so you just get long winters there as well, don't you? And by next May, there's going to be huge news with Trudeau. Again, remember what I'm telling you, it'll all fall into place. Well, I got it wrong with was it Dan Williams? But it doesn't surprise us that he's still in. Is it Dan Williams, Australia? I really thought the other guy was going to get a chance. But then I thought Carrie Lake was going to get in. Look what that happened. Carrie Lake's not going to go away. But she's not going to become governor. There's no way they're going to change it. Dan Andrews, yeah. I really thought the other guy was going to get in. Oh, definitely Flower. Well, there's more protests to come in Canada. Convoy. I see more convoys. So it depends on who's ruling what. I mean, look the way Boris went on. But I think this one, what's in now, is more radical than what Boris was. I don't trust our Prime Minister. I don't like him. I can't put my finger on it. I predicted that he'd get in. And I don't think he's going to be in long. I mean, at least Boris had a likeable side to him. Boris was a liar, but I don't know what it is. I just can't get away with this sneaky side to him. And I feel he's the type of guy what we could try and force the UK into another lockdown. But what I do get is that there was something signed, and I'm sure it was. I don't know if the last woman did it, that there wouldn't be any more lockdowns. But I don't see this. I don't feel it's going to wash with the British people after what happened the last time, what they were doing. We will go Labour Britain again, but I don't know how. There's still a lot of scandals to come out, and it's like backtracking from the past, and it's going back to when Brexit started. Oh yeah, you want us to look into Jeremy Hunt? I would have to get the cards. But what side's he on, you world order? Is that... What side's Jeremy Hunt on? Because I don't... I'm going all chilled when I see his name. Chilled is the word I'm getting. It just annoys us, right? And people are struggling so much in the UK to pay their bills really badly. People are on the breadline. People, they're either, because their gas bills have gone up that much, they either can't feed their kids or they've got to pay the heat, and they can't have one without the other. And it's too cold over here not to have your heating on. So people are going without. It's so bad. And then him, our Prime Minister, rocks up in a posh car to go to the gas station in his posh suit. These rich people, I feel it's like written around his aura that he's going to try and put into another lockdown again and start again with his masks and stuff like that. I can just see it. But it won't work. There's going to be protests. And I said this a little while ago, that there's going to be a lot of marching in the UK to do with the nurses. Postmen are on strike at the minute. I've had that many people trying to send us parcels and I can't get a hold of them. Children hungry in schools. So there's a lot of poverty. And then what they're doing with the council places down in certain places down south, you know, they're switching off their damn heating and the hot water. I've gone right off them. I mean, I've never been a Tory to start with, but I've gone right off them. I warmed to them a bit when Boris was in, but now I've gone right off them. And I think that there is a lot of people who feel like that because they, you know, they were told to keep away from their loved ones. I'm just gonna have a little break because that's heavy, you know, with the virus, and yet, you know, people don't go near people who are unwell or elderly. And there was over the Christmas time, I wanted to see my brother who wasn't well. And then my mother said, no, you can't do that because you know, the government said. I says, fuck the government. They'll be partying. Don't be so ridiculous, Louise. And I was bloody right. They were partying. Partygate. The Tory party. Partying away. And I think this is why a lot of people are bitter. So, and then in the meantime, we lost a lot of loved ones, not just through COVID. I mean, there was people who were elderly, because people need contact when they're not well. People were losing loved ones and they couldn't go near them because of it, because they were saying so. And then they were caught basically with their pants down doing what they did. So that had to happen for a reason. Do you know what I mean? And obviously I couldn't go near my brother because I hadn't been vaxxed. And then he goes and dies. And I'm not the only one who's gone through all this. There's been a lot of people. So yeah, I'm allowed to feel a bit bitter and angry. And it's horrible to die anyway, but to be down on your own, you know, horrible situation. But then you've got all the nurses, you know, what had to do what they did. Everybody in the UK basically went along to eradicate it into, because we're like that. And then to find out what they were doing. So, but you see, Boris wasn't Boris is an opportunist, Boris is a liar, but Boris is a party boy. Boris isn't a radical leader. But Rishi Sunak is going to be radical. He hasn't got that likability like Boris. And it's not going to wash. There's going to be a lot of protests, I see it. I'm also seeing problems with police. This is the UK, by the way. I'm on the roll with the UK. And I'm also, as I'm talking about police, I'm seeing problems with is it NYPD or is it police in America? God. So there's going to be a lot of outages. Somebody here in the audience just says that there's been a massive outrage in North Carolina. Can you pause the looking glass? Why? There is a lot of dark stuff going on in Parliament that we don't know. But watch for eruptions, and the British people will not tolerate it. Boris is a clown, but he's not a radical person. Do you know what I mean? And I don't believe the last one was. She was too weak. They pushed her out. Liz Truss. But there's something very dark what's going on at the minute. But it's not going to last long. When's Wimbledon come? Is that June or July of next year? And the World Cup, big news, Parliament, June, July. A lot of changes. And I even see the NHS changing a lot. It's going to be in a 3-tier system. I keep seeing like a confession. Really weird. I've just seen the shores of Florida. The shores of Florida in huge waves. Why would I say that? Huge waves. US Navy reporting 4 suicides in one ship. Some believe it's a cover-up for... Oh my God. What's it with Charles? There's something going on between William and Harry and it's probably upsetting him. Big news coming in from Florida. So as I'm looking around the states, of certain states, if the USA, I see a lot of red. Angry red. Because I go on frequencies and energies. WM. I want you to remember that. This is so true, you world order. Like I say, there's always been flus flying around and it is flu season. What's happening with the chicken contamination? I'm going to put this down. I'm going to get some... I'm going to pull some cards here. I see an explosion in the sea. I see fire in the sea. I've seen this before. This world is not what it seems. And when this happens, you need to understand it'll all be kicking off around at that time behind the scenes there. So when something happens, when an explosion in sea or a huge explosion, it's at that time everything's going down. Chicken and turkeys being slaughtered in their thousands due to suspected... Oh, for God's sake. So does that mean that if they've got it, that means you can't eat it either? So evil, isn't it? Well, they're going to do that, aren't they? Because it's Turkey Christmas, aren't they? And I said that there would be problems with the meat industry. It's so awful. I'm going to get my cards out and I'm going to pull out to see if there's manipulations, which I feel there is. Just got to ride the storm, guys. There's far more good people on this planet than there is good. There is bad, should I say. We might not think it at the minute, but it's tumbling. But it's going to erupt. So there's a situation coming up with Russia and China, which is going to also involve the Middle East as well. I keep getting Turkey. But there's also a situation coming off with Kim Jong-un, explosion in sea. And when all this is happening, I'm not saying it's not happening, but it's an FF to show you that don't look there, look over there. Because there's something else going on over there. So they don't want you to look over there. So we'll create this to happen over there. But it literally is happening. There's so many underground facilities. And Space Force is so... This is all about money. This is all about greed. Mount Shafter I'm getting as well here. I don't know why I keep getting a W and M. It's going to mean something. Okay. Right, I've just seen like news flash as I'm looking in, you know how I scry, and there's going to be something over the Christmas period, or it's just before or round about Christmas time, New Year, another virus or something. If it's not a virus, it's something that they're talking about. I'm going all cold. And I want to say CV19 or something. CV19. CVELM. Yeah, but there's more to it. Yeah. Papers. People are talking about it on the news. Get your papers. Again, sometimes I can't read a year out. Remember, I'm scrying here, and there's no time concept with when you're giving it from spirit, you're looking out a linear time. Get your papers, but I am sort of feeling Christmas time. It is, because I'm getting that song by is it the Pogs? The Progs? Kirsty McCall. Merry Christmas, you asshole. Do, 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 do. Wasn't that? I don't think it was that, was it? Something about paperwork. But it's enough, something else coming in with it. Something else coming in with it, and they're pushing it. They push the pogs. the pogs. What's the... I need to see what the lyrics. I've got A to I here, very, very strong. Get ready to eat insects. I'm not bloody damn well eating them. I'd rather live on rhubarb. It was Christmas in New York. What was it called again? That song? Christmas, New York. The Pogues. Lyrics. Fairy Tale of New York. It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank. This is a message. An old man said to me, won't see another one. And then he sang a song, the rain all mountain dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. 18 to 1. Remember that. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true. They've got cars big as bars. They've got rivers of gold. Wow. But the wind goes right through you. It's no place for the old. That means we're going to have like windy 18th of December World Cup, right? When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome, you were pretty, Queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they howled out for more. Sinatra was swinging, and all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on a corner, they danced through the night. The boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. You're a bum, you're a punk, you're an old slut on junk, lying there almost dead on a drip in that bed. You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap lousy faggot. Merry Christmas, you arse. I pray God it's our last. And then it's just the chorus again. There's something coming out big, huge Christmas, 18th. Did you see it was the World Cup the 18th? Let's pull some cards. I like Kirsty MacColl and the Pogues. So what I'm feeling is what the ball showed us there, guys. It's something to do with that, the virus thing, but they were showing paperwork and they were saying something else added, and I got red warning. Weird. Can buy a gun here unless you have a land. You can't get guns and get a license for hunting and that. You World Order's put, I'm completely convinced that with half the planet watching live, something is going to happen to the World Cup final, but the ones they are blaming may not be the culprits. Yes, that's the feeling I'm getting. Something else added, but it's something about paperwork. I'm going to look into this. Don't worry, I've got the cards. What does this mean about Christmas, guys? Merry Christmas, you arse, you scumbag, you faggot. Music, keep the vibrations up. Get the music. Now, I'm just working something out, guys. Because, you're like, we're all a little family together. Interesting. Christmas Day is Sunday the 25th. I'll be in the house. So I don't know if you want a Christmas special for Christmas. Would you like that? You might be with your families. But I'll do a run for you if you want. Merry Christmas, you arsehole. You faggot. Yes, Christmas Day. That's a date. And that means that the following one New Year's Day. New Year's Day, that will be a good one as well. What's going to happen Christmas? We need to know. Archangel Michael, Jed, give us a true answer with love and light, love and light, love and light. I might even have a little tipple with you guys. Oh, Maggie, I'm so sorry, sweetie. Sending him prayers. Maggie's saying she's with somebody with stage 4 lung cancer, looking after them. We've just got to keep our vibrations up. Right, so this, I don't know what it is. It's like paperwork. It's not just announcing a virus. It's something about paperwork. But I see people feared up by it. Loosh. They want to a loosh. All these negative energies. Okay. I do believe, right? I'm not sitting here all in fairyland. We know what's going on. We know that there's dark individuals out there. But I believe by keeping my vibrations up, being one step ahead of these sociopaths, we will be all right. There's such thing as sovereignty. So, human sovereignty. We are going to be okay, but we are going to be pushed to something. And there's a lot of swords coming in here. And there's going to be people stuck. This is what I'm being shown. We've got the hangman upside down. But there's like people getting stalled at airports. People crying in airports. I don't know what I'm getting. And I see ladies, with their shawls on, like you get in the Middle East, with the black shawls on, and they're crying and wailing. And I'm seeing this in airports. And V's coming out, and I'm getting the letter V. And it's trapping people. The heart of it's China. Just like you've got to backtrack and look back to, when I first announced that there's going to be people running around with masks on and everybody's worried, and I said that there's going to be something about a virus or a pandemic, and it happened. Remember when I said that 4 or 5 years ago? I said that. And we were watching it unfold when people were screaming on the last time when they were like passing out, and it was in China. And then all of a sudden it sort of like went quiet, and then all of a sudden it was all around that we were getting a pandemic. So now you've got the Chinese people protesting, and they've been getting upset and getting whisked away and all of this. It's like I'm getting a funny deja vu, like it's like happening again. There's so much going on all at once, and there's going to be restrictions on travel. And that's very Middle Eastern. I've got Egypt, you've got like the pyramids and that. But then when I'm looking on and I'm seeing when we have the cricket and we have the tennis, everybody's walking about and we're fine, do you know what I mean? And there's travel in and out. So there's something huge to kick off. And I don't know if it's trying to get something passed. And then I'm seeing Rishi Sunak's face, and I'm seeing something about Europe deals. It could be something to do with the G20. But I'm seeing him smiling on World News with his suit on and everybody just kicking off. That's what I'm seeing. But when this is all happening, there's also going to be stuff going on with distractions elsewhere. There's a lot going on all at once. And then I'm going to get into America with what's happening with Trump as well. It's all very weird. The Chinese people will be fine, and they're going to be, it's like we're watching them getting restricted. I keep getting something about the Middle East as well. I know this might sound all very cryptic what I'm saying, but you must remember this and it'll all fall into place. But what's happening is behind the scenes is like a switchover going on at the same time. And that's like somebody like charging in on a horse to save the day, like Superman. Now I've got a video what's going out excuse me, on YouTube. And it's probably going to go out tomorrow night, and I talk about good guys, bad guys, whatever you want to call them. But what I went into meditation as I was doing this, and I actually got how it's been perceived that there's white hats and black hats. I don't think it's the case. I think there is bad people running around trying to control. You've got like different levels of the Illuminati ladder. But what's going on out of that is extraterrestrial presence, and everybody's working together. So you remember, it's a free will world, so it's like you're going to get some countries which is going to be more radical than others. And I've said this for a while, that it's going to take a long time to clean the mess up. I also said in my last will predictions that I could see big news with Donald Trump Jr. And I'm getting him again. But they're using it, aren't they, Walker Horty? They're using it. It's a control thing. And it makes us thinking that actually something's going on at the moment. So it's like a movie. It really, really is like a movie. Like we're just gonna get caught up in loads of drama. But there's gods behind it, there's beings behind it, which is gonna change it all. It's all gonna sort itself out. Excuse me. But that the way you've got the man there holding the woman, it's like that's something about childbirth. But I thought my initial thought was, when I looked at that, is like humanity can't pay their bills, they can't eat properly, they can't buy their food. The old system's fallen, guys. The old system is fallen. Let's see what else I can get. We're in the eye. Well, we're definitely coming into the eye of it. So the close is like death, but if you look, there's been horrible things going on this planet for a long, long time. Okay. There's the Grim Reaper there, but he can't get to the baby on the other side. Look. He can't get to the baby. These are the children of New Earth. The children of New Earth are going to be fine. Three major events are going to take place between now and 2024. I do believe huge 2023. 8 is connected with Trump. Remember that. Number 8. It could be to do with a date, or 8 is connected. So they're going to get him on taxes. He still has something they want. He's got something they want. I'm seeing a vault and I'm going down into a tunnel. I don't know where this is. I'm remote viewing this. Remember this, guys, because I can't force it. It's a secret vault. And we're going lots of gold. It's all about the gold. Like the film, The Three Kings. I've said this to you before. Remember with that film? If anybody hasn't seen it, you need to watch it. I think it was with Saddam Hussein's gold. Hidden gold. Using humanity with Mickey Mouse money. The Three Kings. Vaults. The Vatican's been... The Vatican... Right. There's been a lot of... cartel mafia has ploughed a lot of money into the Vatican. And at the minute there's been threats going on and he's moved his money, hasn't he? And when there's going to be big news with a mountain, or it could be a volcano, there's going to be huge news around about that time to do with Italy and Donald Trump. Again, remember everything I'm telling you and it'll all fall into place. Where I'm going into these vaults, I'm looking under Iran. The gold was getting moved. The Taliban is not what you think they are. There's so many different futuristic underground cities. And there's been billions of dollars which has been moved into the space programs, which went missing. Poland. Crash. Poland. Was it Ukraine? Big plane. 7GM 9 warning. It's like I see a big black looks like a big starry fish, and it's huge, the shape of it, and it's going all the way over Russia. I see explosion warning. Ukraine, get out. Near B. Near port. Spies. The same spies what went in, what blew the bridge up. I'm seeing it really strong. They're going into a harbour. Distraction. Y is connected. Is really connections. They're all at it with each other. They're all just trying to get one over on each other all the time. Spies everywhere. I've said this before. When the spy who loves me. Loads of James Bonds running around. Loads of triple, double agents running around. Is it going to be a trial with them? Is it going to be a retrial? This is really weird. Ghislaine Maxwell. I see a trial. I see another trial. Trying to get her out. A family are trying to get her out. My God. I see her being interviewed on Loose Women. My God. Scapegoat. Convenient. But she was used. Round about that time all this goes on, there's going to be huge news to do with a Canadian, New York, America. It's covering up a lot of big names. It's covering up a lot of big names. Yes. Now, I'm going to have a break in a minute, but before I go on a break, I see kilts, bagpipes, Scotland. I'm seeing... I find it hard to call him King Charles. I feel like saying Prince Charles, but you know what I mean. King Charles. Big news. Mind you, it could be, you know, how they used to have the Queen's Speech, Scotland, so it might be something he does. He's going to be making his first King's Speech, isn't it? Because we'll have it on Christmas Day. Things aren't good. Balmoral. A lot of pain. I'm telling you, William's going to be on money. The royal family's not going down. The royal family will change. William and Kate will be on money. Prince William. But he's going to be so shocked what Harry's coming out with. Is it true? Let's put some together. And I want to ask, is it true what Harry's saying? And then we're going to have a little break. Let's see what is going on with Harry. She's very upset at the minute, Princess Diana. She's very, very upset because of her two boys. I do believe that there has been falling outs. Terrible things have been said. That is Meghan and Kate, and they're at loggerheads. That's Meghan, the Queen of Swords. That's Kate there. That's Harry. He's just like chucked everything away. To the fact, you've got to go back to when the Queen died, right? Doesn't matter what you believe or what you think. When the Queen died, she came back. They were in England when it happened, actually. He never got to say goodbye to his granny because they were doing stuff. And I think he regretted it. Anyway, the Fab Four, as the press like to call them, were all together and they were walking around the crowds, and Meghan looked really stressed out because she didn't know how the British public would take her. But we were fine. I think there was one person shouted in the audience, but I think everybody else was fine. But she's never going to be... Once this book comes out, there's going to be so much disclosed. It's going to be hard for Meghan and Harry to show their face again in the UK. Because no matter what people think of the royal family, William is loved by many. William and Kate are loved by many. Is it true what he's saying? No, it's not true. Things have got twisted. The funny thing is, I felt there was going to be changes with the book. There's going to be changes with the book, or unless he's changed it right at the end, so... But it's still shocking. But this is going to cause pressure. This is going to cause pressure for Charles. There he is there. and it came out upside down, which could give him more health problems, because he's not like a spring chick. He's not like a spring chick. Don't forget, the Queen left Frogmore Cottage to the pair of them. And it's not just a cottage, it's like a mansion. Because they were going to like stay half in UK, backwards and forwards to California, because they were going to school their kids over here, though backwards and forwards. She gifted them for a wedding present. There's compromise. I'm getting compromise as being... I look at him, that's like, you know, like Illuminati. Look at that, like devil worshipping. Look at that, look at that, look at that. And it's like there's codes on him, there's dark codes on him, manipulation. And he looked angry. Look back to the funeral. How angry he looked. Harry. I think that he's going to find it hard. I see lots of interviews with him about this when the book comes out. But I tell you what, you're going to need a stiff drink what's been said. Like, it's really, really shocking. And he's changed it. Because before he changed it, it was worse. But there's the magician, look. There's something like really dark going on. When's the book due out? Because I'm getting big news coming out by winter solstice. It's like he's lost his self. But the truth always comes out in the end anyway. There's a lot of bitterness about money. There's a lot of bitterness. Oh, it's the 15th. Well, there's some big news coming out. Winter solstice, winter time. There's something that he was really angry about to do with money, or money what was left or wasn't left to him. But it's part, whatever you think, you know what I mean? It's he's had to get it off his chest. Remember, when we're going through healing and we're going through this spiritual awakening, we've got to purge all wounds. And there's things that he's had to get off his chest. And I think a lot of it's come out in anger. But I think it's going to cause a controversy. Seven of Swords. And it's nothing, Meghan hasn't pushed him to do this. She encouraged him to do it, but he was the one who wanted to do it. No matter what you think of Meghan, I do think they love each other. I think she's the boss behind closed doors. But then again, aren't a lot of women? But he's been the one who's wanted to do it. She's been the one who's the Empress. they've had a lot of targeting, you know, the old, it's the press, it's the old upper class establishment. And I think sometimes when you're in the public eye, it makes things worse, doesn't it? You get all these hoo-ha Henrys, you know, what'll be like on Question Time and that, and talking about it and how they've disgraced the royal family and all of that. But nobody's immune to getting things off their chest, you know. Everybody's allowed to express what they need to express. And I think this happening is changing the way forward for the new monarchy. But the monarchy's not going to fall. It just needs to change. It's been too stiff upper-lipped for too long. It's been too Titan and Victorian, you know, like sort of like too British is the word. Too... I think Meghan's going to have another baby. Or Kate is, one of them are. There's another baby to come in on the royal family. I think that why Meghan wanted to leave, obviously there was talks that somebody was being racist with her, but I also think that she wanted her privacy. She didn't feel her way. She didn't want the royal nanny. She wanted it her way, which is fair enough. And I think that when she's been interviewed, you know, it's like they like it when they're just on their own. I get the impression Meghan doesn't even like her maids or her staff around her, like a cleaner or whoever's there, or she likes it just when it's just him and the kids and the dogs. They just live like this normal life behind the scenes. But there's, you know, there'll be controllers in California as well trying to control them, you know, hangers in there. It's possible it could be Kate. But there's going to be a massive divide between the two princes for a long, long time. A long, long time. It could go on for a few months. The media hasn't helped. I think it's gonna be so controversial. People are either gonna love the book or hate the book. A bit like Trump, really. But I mean, just look at Harry. He's so like different anyway, isn't he? He doesn't go along with it. I just think Harry's Harry. And they're gonna like blame Meghan as well, you know, the hoo-ha toffee Henrys over here. They will blame Meghan. There's Meghan, Queen of Swords. But it'll sort out. It will sort itself out. I just think that Harry has to live the life he needs to live. Harry's been through a lot. But then again, William's been through a lot. But Harry's a rebel. I mean, if you look back on YouTube, where Diana's getting interviewed somewhere, I think it was in Kensington Palace, and she was telling Harry off because he was being naughty in the background. He was about 9 or something, and she was telling him to stop it, Harry, stop it, Harry, stop it. Be quiet, Harry, she kept saying. You never get two the same, you know. But he looks like, I know he's a redhead, but he looks like he's got a lot of, and he's like a lot of fire in his soul. He's got a lot of fire in his soul where William's more cool and collective, and Harry's like, I think Harry's had quite a wild sex life, love life in the past before he got with Meghan. I think Harry's been a bit of a lad. Is he Henry VIII reincarnated? Shall we find out? Well, Harry was a baby. It's just going to be, it's just another thing for the media, just to, more drama. More drama. And I'm not buying into it. I get Africa with them. I get them around a lot of safari elephants. She's going to end up going into some form of politics. But at the end of the day, I think people just need to leave. They just need to be left to do what they need to do, because we're all on our awakening, do you know what I mean? And a lot of people don't like her, do you know what I mean? But I just think that they're all trying to do what they need to do. The Sun card, the Empress card's coming out. But the media's going to make it worse. And Harry will use this will attack the media. They might even try and sue the media. And it could have a lot to do with mental health. There's a lot to do with mental health in this book, what's going to come out. And Meghan's mental health. And Meghan's mental health's going to come out in this book. But it's going to paint William out to be a bit of a so-and-so, and I don't think it's been true. It's brother's rival. It's brother's rival. But media will make things worse, I'm telling you now. They will make things worse. Do they need money? Oh yeah, they definitely need money. When you're born into something and you're privileged into something, you don't have to pay for this and bodyguards and bills and that, and then all of a sudden he's had a dramatic change in his life. And Harry was expecting still to have that protection. But if he left the royal family, they weren't going to give him the protection. So he left. Not that he would ever have been king, but he left. And I think that they have to watch their pennies. I mean, they've got a big house over there, you know what I mean? I think there's debt. She wants to go back into Hollywood. He doesn't want her to go into Hollywood. So she's thought of this podcast. She likes the idea. I don't know if she's got Oprah Winfrey on some sort of pedestal. She likes the idea. She'd like to be like an interviewer. That's what's in her mind at the minute. That's what she wants to do. He's got an entertaining side as well. But yeah, it's just watch for it all coming out. Watch for it all coming out. Will they come back? If he comes back, he'll come back alone. I don't think she could ever settle fully after this book. Because the tabloids are going to blame her. The tabloids will blame her. Prince Andrew, well, that's another story, isn't it, Tazzy? Let's have a look. And then I'm going to have a break. I'm going to go into my shed and have a cigarette. Now, if the Betty and Bobby thing you don't like, just put it on silent. Turn it right down. When I'm going on my break. Prince Andrew. Establishment trying to protect him. disgrace, doesn't he? The way I see it here, is, there was money paid to that woman, wasn't there? And it's like 3D. It looks like it's all over and done with. I think there's going to be more mentioned about it, but I don't know if it's ever going to come to anything. Depends on different timelines, but there's been a lot covered up. I look at that and I just think that there is bigger names connected within the Epstein circle. Him associating isn't enough to, it's more shame the family. And then there was that girl, but she was paid off. So by the law, which I don't agree, the way the law is, it's over and done with, isn't it? Was it that Virginia woman? If there's something reopened, it's through a big name. Maybe next year, if it's going to come out, it'll come out no later than 2024. It's not what you know, it's who you know, isn't it? And what status you're at. But there's bigger things coming out. I don't see that coming out. Seen lots of water, and it's around islands. NOM is connected. Tropical islands, tsunami water. Could be around the Caribbean. And around about the time there's big news with a liner ship. Round about the time there's big news with a liner ship. There'll be a second book with Harry. It won't just stop with one book. There'll be more books to come out. Remember that. There was big news on a vacant ship recently. Oh. So let's change the subject. Let's go for a break. And then we'll get back into our scrying again. And then I want to look into Kanye West. And I want to look into the USA. Don't know why I'm feeling there's something big to do with Trudeau for next year. Interesting. I see him heavily connected with China, for some unknown reason. I've never been able to tap into his energies, but there's some heavy connection to do with China with him. She just stripped his power, didn't she, Hazeltine? Kanye has gone nuts, and I want to know what's going on. I want to just get to the bottom of it. Massively associated with China. It's like a robot. But give us five. And like I say, if the Betty and Bobby music does your head in, I suggest you turn it down. So give me at least 3 to 4 minutes and I'll be back on. I'm going for a piddle. I'm going to make a drink of juice, and I'm going to stand in my freezing cold scary garden, and I'm going to go and have one of me cigarettes and then I'll be back. Okay, and we'll look into it. I'll look into it, Tazzy. Wear a jacket. Okay. Yeah, the scary garden. Yeah, I'm going for a wee and I'll be back in a minute. Give us 5. Okay. This is true, Gary, but I just think the media doesn't help. But I think this book's going to be, oh God, it's going to be a bestseller because everyone's going to be nosy and they're going to be wanting to know what he's saying. So cheers. I've got me apple and it's Robinson's apple in blackcurrant, I think. Kanye Trudeau and his romantic leadership with China, yeah. Right, let's see what's going on. Kanye West. Let's have a true answer. Betty and Bobby is still up. Can anybody else see Betty and Bobby? Or can you hear us? Give us a 5-5 if you can hear us. Nobody else is seeing Betty and Bobby, are they? No, it's not. That's strange. Are you on a delay there? Okay. Right, Kanye. What's going on with Kanye? Kanye West. He's a strange laddie, isn't he? Did you see him when he was on that Alex Jones thing and he had his black mask on? Just weird. Money talks, isn't it? It's like money with people. It's like so scary, this world. Right, this is so creepy. Look at the first card that I pulled out. Illusion. So he's believing. There he is. I mean, I know it looks like it's shown as a white man, but that's him. He's really believing everything that he's seen. And he's got his head in his hands, so he's really messed up there. I want to see why he's messed up. Don't forget, I read for people all the time. From all different walks of life and people with mental health, because I'm a healer. Right, so he was affected over the Kim Kardashian thing. That came out upside down, so he was very messed up over that. But then he was messed up beforehand with psychosis. Is that where he comes from, is it, Glinda? Hometown of Olympia. I know he had said on TikTok that his mother was compromised or something, or they took his mother out, didn't he? That's what he said in one of the TikTok videos. And talks about his dad a lot. Don't forget, we're all having, it doesn't matter if you're in the public eye, you're not in the public eye. Look at Harry, you know, it doesn't matter who you are, we're all going through part of this spiritual awakening as it brings up old wounds. And we've got two lovers here, because I've got a few different decks in. We've got another lover, so he's definitely been messed up with her. I think she was quite cold with him at the end. Ace of Swords, 8 of Wands, 9 of Swords, 9 of Pentacles. She's connected with a lot of money in high places. We're one and a bit of another, I think, what's going on here. His kids, does he still get to see his kids, or is she trying to stop him from seeing the kids? Very messed up by them. Very messed up. There's another version of him, the King of Swords. So he does believe what he's saying. He does believe. Seven of Pentacles, upside down King of Swords. There has been some targeting. So what he's saying is wrong. The latest thing, what he said about the Jews. But there's truth mixed up within untruth. And it's all getting mixed up. But there's been a targeting with another man here, and he's upside down. He's the King of Swords. That's another black guy who's targeted him. Somebody's targeted him. In what way has he been targeted? Because when your mental health and you're wide open and you're taking drugs, or he's been unbalanced, that's like the false Hollywood. That's like the false Hollywood. Possibly, Amy. Possibly. It's very deep. 9 of Wands. I'm concerned something's going to happen to him, and I'm sure I said this. I'm sure I said this in one of my predictions in the past. Something's going to happen to him. Did I not say this a few weeks ago, that something big's going to come out with him? So I am getting that there's talks of restriction with his kids. Who's Milo? So, you know, if somebody's speaking truth and then all of a sudden they don't like the truth coming out, that person will get targeted and make them more crazy. So people just class it as mental health or just a nasty person. So there's frequency out there. Mind control. I see ruin with him. It's awful, this. Awful, awful. And I want to say this is the start of it, because he's not going to stop. But there's like a sudden movement of him, like a delay. And then he's going to say something else. And then all of a sudden he just goes. And it's within the one. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords. So they've got he's all tied up. And there's not one person, because he's got loads of hangers on there. And people who are believing the radical stuff he's saying. So he's got like bad agents around him. Bad agents around him from both sides. And he's too caught up in it. 7 of Rods. And it's so sad. He knows too much. He knows a lot more. Who's targeting him? Five of Swords, King of Rods. Being targeted by these two people. I don't know who they are. Sometimes there's things going on in this world that could never ever be explained, because some people could come over so nice and yet be so nasty. Whatever you want to label it as, California, but they say that we are in control, and we are in control, but when you are wide open with substance abuse, and if you're not getting the the right balance if you've got, because there was a psychotic tip with him. There's unbalancement, then you're easily more targeted. I'm seeing 2 dark codes attached to them. But there's somebody close in his circle who's very, very 50-faced, who is doing supplement stuff to him. As soon as the interview went viral, the family had an emergency meeting, so if something happened to him. Is something going to happen to him? What is the point in wearing exactly? It's if someone's being very unwell, they do strange stuff like that, but also targeting to make him worse than what he is. So people, it's all mind control stuff. What's going to happen to him? Shamed. There's something else he's going to say, and it's coming in within the one. I just feel he's going to go too far with something else as well that he's going to say. And I see people following him. You can fight off mind control if you're well and you're balanced. There'll be an accident and they'll say that he's took substance, but it's not an accident. No, mystery. There's a lot of attention. There's a few things mentally wrong with him. There's a problem with his ego. But he does totally believe what he's saying is, it's like Nazis used mind control. And as I look into his aura, I know this sounds really crazy what I'm saying, because I've remote viewed into Mars programs and stuff like that, where I've seen that sign off-world as well. Because I believe that the Nazis never went away. They just went underground and went up into space. But it's as if I see a holographic image of that imprinted, and it looks slightly AI. It doesn't look like it's an absorption of energy, of words, or even witchcraft. It's an AI energy of like a holographic image implanted into his second aura. You've got your physical, your rainbow, and your outer aura, and it's as if it's been imprinted in there and it's controlling him. And it's some very highly advanced technology. But he's had holes in his aura to start with, and I think he was very driven with the money. He liked all the Hollywood thing. If it'd gone his way, but it didn't go his way. And through a twist of fate and losing his relationship, he's just gone off on a rampage. But you have free will. And I think he's too far gone. And some people do it's the higher selves, you know what I mean? He's broken. He's definitely damaged. He's got holes in his aura. A lot of people have holes in their aura, but they can be repaired. But it's like he's pieces missing and there's control going on in him. It's like his soul's bleeding. There's like two Kanyes. He's split in two. It's really weird. But the last person to blab off, I don't know what his name was called. He was a comedian. Yeah, Walker Haughty. He was a comedian. He had big hair. He looked quite... and he went on about the stuff of what was going on in Hollywood with the paedophilias and all of that. Happy. And then all of a sudden he was dead off a bridge. And there was something about a black glove. Joseph Cappy or something. He knew too much. And he was doing vlogs on it. Saying names. Isaac. I am getting a similar feeling, but it's got jumbled and jumbled and jiggled about in Kanye's mushed brain. So they've put something on him to make it worse. To make him look worse. Wendy Williams as well. So you know when people talk about clones and things like that, I think there's more to it. I don't think it's people running around rubber people, masks. I think that this technology out there, I've always said this, the technology is not the issue, it's who's been behind the technology. And because we've got so much far advanced technology, we don't know what's out there. And the technology is doing things. If they want to take you, they'll take you that way. You know what I mean? Yes. Walker Haughty. I think everybody in this audience tonight are going to be fine because we're not involved in the Hollywood, are we? We haven't mixed with them. We haven't blabbing on about them like Isaac did or Kanye is. You know how Kanye had that sort of breakdown on the stage and he started going on about JC and all of that. So he's going to do it again. It's got a Marilyn Monroe vibe, but the technology's come a long way since then, Hutton. And of course, going back to that other woman what died in the car crash, who was Ellen's ex-partner. What was she called? Hesh. If she had been taking stuff, she would have been wide open to it as well. But somebody said she was speeding, which was abnormal. And Hesh. but the videos I've seen, I mean, she was doing videos with somebody, but then there was a lot of nighttime videos where she was piss coming out of a bar, do you know what I mean? And it looked quite scary the way she was driving so fast. I think that there is something going on, and I'm not saying this to freak you out, guys, but there is something going on in this world where when people go too far, they can just be taken like that. But there's something's going on to stop this. Because where you've got bad people doing bad things, there is good agents, there is good stuff going on out there behind the scenes as we sleep in our beds at night time. We could never know the truth. This is just my take on it, you know. But I just know that he's not going to be in the limelight for much longer. And we can all if, buts and whys, but this is my take on it. This world is not what it seems. He could change his path, but I don't think he can control it anymore. Anything's possible. But as I look at his crown chakra, he's so wide open, it's like there's a lid off his head. And he hasn't been taking his tablets, or he was supposed to be taking tablets to control it because he's convinced he hasn't got bipolar. And he argues with his doctors and he keeps changing his doctors. And one thing Kim was making him do was making him take his tablets to keep him balanced. Whatever you think of Kim, she did go through a lot with him, and we'll never know everything. Because she just wanted to have a quiet life with the kids with him, but it didn't go that way. But whatever he's on, he hasn't been taken. And it's made him worse, because with something like that, you've got to be weaned off it. Anything what messes with your chemicals in your brain, do you know what I mean? Paul Walker. So it's not good. And the justice card's coming out, so I don't know if they're trying to be lawsuits against him. I don't know, he's just going to say something else soon, very, very soon. But you know, I think he has been taking street drugs as well. I don't know if he's been taking cocaine. I recognised it. He looked off his nut on... Don't forget, I've got like hand-on experience dealing with things like that. When he was on that Alex Jones show, he looked off his nut. Off his nut. And you do daft things like that when you're off your nut, when you're on that white stuff. Do you know what I mean? Has he been taking the white stuff again? Yes. Yes. Kanye is definitely taking white stuff again. Smoking it. Crack. Well, even Alex Jones looked shocked, didn't he? I don't think he's going to... I know this sounds really awful, because if Kanye doesn't change his ways... So there's a bit of one and a bit of another going on here. But we don't know what they're putting in this is what I said to Adam. You don't know what they're putting in, slicing in this cocaine. You don't know what they're putting into it. Don't forget, it's coming in from the borders from overseas. I mean, look at Nigel Farage. He got up early one morning and filmed, and customs were letting it come in into the UK, just letting it come in. They were just passing them through. And he put the bloody video out on YouTube, and then he got arrested. He exposed what they're doing. And this is going on in the USA as well. It's all just coming in, isn't it? Just they're bringing it in. But you don't know. I think that the D state has got a hand in this because they want people hooked on it, because you know, they can control it with that as well. They can cut it in with things, trackers and things they can put into it. Particles, nanotechnology, they can put stuff in. If they're going to track, if they're going to try and target somebody, they're cutting it in with something off-world in this street drug stuff. Yeah, I've heard fentanyl is very bad in the US. But so what I'm getting is, I don't think he's going to be on this planet long, Kanye West. And I never, ever, ever predict when someone's going to pass. But I just feel so sad. And then people that's going to be on tabloids, well, it was his mental health, it was his drugs. And it touches home for me, do you know what I mean? Because I think about when you're dealing with somebody who you love, who's gone through that. It can be very messed up living with somebody who's got that, who you love, and you're watching what they go through. So I believe Kanye West is a starseed, but he's just been tipped over the edge and then finding out the stuff that he's known, and it's all been too much for him. Wolcahorty, I walked in the store late one night and there was a bag of drugs on the floor. I showed to the employer and they called the police to remove it. It was white rock crystal stuff. Oh my God. But I've been shown, I've really been shown that they do put stuff in stuff. I was going to put them cards back together again. So I don't think there's going to be dramas on there, guys. Watch for it. It's not good. It's not good. I'm going to put these back together again, and people have asked us, people have emailed us, when you look into the Hunter's laptop, and I've had socky messages from people saying, you're just taking their side. You're just taking their side, you know. And I say, no, I'm not. I'll tell you what I see. But I've never seen anything coming from Hunter's laptop. But some people have emailed us and said that there's been stuff that's come out with it. So I'm going to have a look. That's interesting what Wolcahorty says. I won't even drink, no offence to anyone. From my martial arts training, I learned to not block chakras. Well, I totally get that. Why do you think the Muslims don't drink? Because they talk about the jinns. I've seen jinns jumping in and out of people. Why do you think it's called spirit? It's called spirit for a reason. I remember once being in town in one of my famous gay bar haunts. Gone is the day when I used to go out. And my friend Diane, she had like some wine bars in town. It's a friend of mine. And I was quite tipsy drunk, and it was near the end of the night. And she looked at us, because Diane's very spiritual as well, and she's a psychic. And she went, even though she owns pubs, she went, for God's sake, Louise, go home. She says, you're too open. And I says, what do you mean? She says, your face was changing. She said, because I was tipsy drunk and she could see the spirits flying in and out of his. So I went home. And I mean, I don't drink. I don't feel the need to drink. I used to drink. I think if I went out, I'd have a few drinks. But I don't really like drinking. I've got alcohol here. And I'll be having a drink with you at Christmas. But apart from that, I'm not really somebody who likes anything like that. And it's a lot to do with me being I'm a physical medium. So I can transfigurate, I've got to be very careful. And I think it's like years of training being a shaman. I like to keep myself balanced. Oh, I'll do like a lager and lime on a hot sunny day, sit in the garden. And I do a gin and tonic with a dash of lemon with some ice. But I've got wines in here and everything, but I just don't bother. Right, I'm going to look into this for the people who want to know about Hunter's laptop. Can you fill us in what's happened? Totally don't understand why people don't drink beer. It's so bitter. But yeah, I mean, if I went to a club, if I went out, I would possibly have a drink. But that's about it, really. I could never give me cookies up. Hunter. Biden. He's another one that's had problems with cocaine. So he will have holes in his aura. They've got to be patched up. I do a lot of work, energy work on people. Or the Oreo cookies. Lovers. Someone. It's been a bit of a lad, hasn't he? Let's get a drink. One beer and you want to dance on the table? Okay. I'm not seeing anything coming from this laptop. What's going on? What is being said? I'm not seeing anything. Who's got the laptop? Right. Elon Musk dumped Twitter files that the Democratic Party told Twitter to hide regarding Elon Musk dumped Twitter files that the Democratic Party told Twitter. Right, okay. And what's supposed to be on this laptop? Nah. There's something definitely coming out, but I don't know if it's enough. Yeah, sort of a bit of a lad, porn stuff type of thing. Hunter isn't criminal as well as interferes. But not enough. There's going to be arguments about it, but not enough. That Joe Biden is a silent partner. Okay, well, Michael, will it come to anything to do with Joe Biden. No. No. There's Joe. I mean, I'm going with what I feel. I'm not going to like bullshit you and tell you. There's some scandal to come out with a woman, but I don't know if it's connected with Joe Biden or somebody completely different. There's a woman to come forward with something. That might have something to do with it, or there's watch for that within the 2 to 3. Twitter Files had a statement from him talking about he and his father involvement with China in Ukraine. Yeah, but the cards are saying it's not enough. It's not enough. That's what it's saying here. So there is stuff to come out. It's like a fish in a cup popping out. Who's the big guy? I'm going to double check it. Oh, Joe. It's that's the Republican Party side getting really, really angry with something. Like, look at his face; he looks really paid off. Hunter is paying Joe's bills. Joe is right, okay, and that is them. I mean, you could look at it like they're getting away with it; they're running away, but nothing is. It's not going to come to what. It's not going to come to anything. It's going to open something else up. All right, that's what I'm getting there. Arizona. There's something to do with a woman with scandal. Arizona. Will Carrie get anything done about what she's saying? I'll look into the world famine for you, sweetie. Right. The person who is the governor is that other woman. It's not Carrie. I don't see Carrie getting to be the governor. I don't see anything getting done about it. But what I do get is that Carrie's not going to let it go. You haven't heard the last of Carrie. And I wouldn't put it past Carrie and Trump to side up with each other. You know, like, so if Trump tries to run again, Carrie could be like the vice president type of thing. It's like you haven't heard the last of Carrie. But I doubt Carrie is going to be made governor of that county or wherever she claims she's won. I doubt that's going to change. That's what I'm feeling. Who wins the Senate seat in Georgia? Is that still going on? I thought it was finished with by now. So Carrie, there's a bigger picture there for Carrie. Remember that. I'm not saying they're going to be successful, but I think he'll pick Carrie. I don't think he'll pick Marjorie. I think he'll pick Carrie. Votes on Tuesday. Yeah, the Georgia one always ends late, doesn't it? So we've got, who are the two people? There's Herschel Walker, isn't there? And who's the other one? Is it Raphael somebody or something. It was a tie. So it's Warnock and Walker. Do you know what that sounds like? It sounds like Womack and Womack. Remember that? Footsteps on the dance floor. Remember that? Womack and Womack. Reminds me, baby, of you. Teardrops in the powder room. Do, 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 do. Just being silly. You've got to be silly when you're doing this with the politics. Too much. Don't forget, I've come back from the future where there's no politics, you know what I mean? I've come from when the ETs have come from, you know? I'm from the Galactic Federation of Light. With all this monkey way of thinking, it's just not good. Oh, dearie me. So we've got like a tie thing there going on, haven't we? The blue is coming out a little bit more. Now, I'm not saying this to wind anybody up, but you're asking. You do ask. I will tell. I'm going to double check. Drink the juice. I think there's going to be another attack in Ukraine. Yes, the ETs are definitely helping, but it's more behind the scenes, working with humanity. Footsteps on the dance floor. I feel like I need to have that song on now. Womack and Womack. I think there's going to be problems. I think there's going to be controversy. I think that the blues are just going to get in, and I think that there's going to be absolute hell on again. What's come out here is, and I need to invent some cards, yeah. Have you noticed like all these cards are like all white people? Not that there's anything wrong with all white people, but I need to get an artist. Now, you see, my brother had been alive. He was a fantastic artist. I could have like designed some cards. I need to get my own cards done. The blues come up the right way and the red come up upside down. Where blues have the Senate, reds the House, good, they can work together. Yeah, I have different types. These are quite Viking-like, actually. But I need to invent some, like, LGBT cards. I want to do them. I want to invent some really arty, sort of mystical, futuristic ones, galactic ones. And then I want to do some really just different types of people looking. Do you know what I mean? There's a little girl to stand on world news, and she's a little girl. I don't know. I'm seeing two. Something about a landslide or a trap, and they're trying to get her out. and I'm getting an Indian feeling or something. Then I'm seeing another little girl with blonde hair, and I don't know if she's going to go missing. God help her. I hope this doesn't happen. I hate it when I get stuff like this. Or is it to do with that summer girl? Remember when I brought her in? I'll start talking about it again. She starts coming in again. Remember little Summer? And if it's something to do with her, there's some big news to come out with her. Don't let it be Greta. Please don't let it be Greta. Who's Greta? Summer Wells. Or it could be Maddie McCann. There's something to come out about a little blonde girl. Remember that. Well, I've already done that one. If you go on to about the Idaho college students, if you go on to my last video I put out, Looking Glass, just recently, you'll see that in that world prediction, I did a remote viewing and the bulb showed us. Well, talking about Greta, there's some big news to come out with her. You know how she's painted out to be this like sweet little girl. She's not, and there's some quite shocking news to come out with Greta. Watch for that. Yeah, I said the dog did not bark because the dog knew the person. It was a male and stroked the dog. Calmly sat in the lounge. This is really creepy. Before they went in upstairs, got the knife and went in upstairs. Actually, they brought the knife in and it was in a bag. No, it wasn't. They had it wrapped in something, but it was in there. Horrible, horrible. I think she's very compromised, Greta. Again, you know, you go into the public limelight and then people you get like, it's like suckers. You know, suckers from both sides. Suckers from both sides coming in. Prayers for the parents, definitely, you know, or hide. I can never say the word. Idaho. See, I got it right. Blessings. I mean, it's bad enough to lose a kid anyway. You know, I've been a medium all this many years, and it's the worst grief anybody can go through is to lose a child or a grown-up child. But to lose them through murder is even more horrific, because you don't know what they've gone through in their last hours, and you've been able to save them from evil. Horrific. And they've never been able to defend themselves that they've been asleep. That's just so creepy. Right, where is the missing rugby star Levy Davis lost in Barcelona? I see Greta rebelling against her parents. Greta's not living a true path yet. But she started off talking about this and believing, you know, wanting to save the planet. And I think they've just all suctioned onto her and thought how they could make money out of her. But she's got to go through a tipping point and change before she comes back better and stronger and free from radical people. You know what I mean? Bit like the Britney thing. Look what they did to Britney. I mean, they did terrible things to Britney. She was a little girl singing, wasn't she? Her dad wanted her to make all that money. Yeah? Would you like to ask a question, Anon? Anon Lone Ranger. I think the young man became awake. It's just so awful. It's just so awful. Why did Leanne do what she did? Is this a personal question? Leanne who? Exactly. I need to know, Leanne. You might need to have a personal reading. I want to say because she loves you. What does that mean? Does that make sense? Yeah, I've touched upon that, not in my last show last week. The one before, we go back 2 weeks. And I talked about the sheep going around in circles and how they were being controlled by that AI thing again. And it's that, that matrix system breaking, so glitches, and that's what I'm feeling. But the sheep's higher self shown as well. It's like animals have been, I was given as well, that we are ascending and animals are ascending. So this evil side to life, what is trying to make us starving and freezing, they won't win. They won't win. All right? And we've got to raise this vibration in this ballroom tonight. They will not win. I was talking to a lovely lady earlier on this evening near New England. I told her to hop on here because she didn't know about this place. And she said that she's got like land and acres and they've got cows and all sorts of things, and livestock and vegetables, and which is wonderful, but not everybody can. But she says that they're going to help the community as well. And I think what happens is it's through this horribleness. This is what I've been saying all the time. It's like we're reliving we're rewriting the new Bible with everything what's happening. So we've all got to be shook. And then it, does it bring like the Christian out in you or whatever? It brings out to help our neighbours, help our loved ones. Because this world became too evil, it became too materialistic. All right, you will, daughter, I will. Do you do designing? When do animals talk? Well, it's been proven that monkeys can talk, isn't it? My Oliver, I'm convinced when he used to bark, he used to sound like Mum. It sounded like Mum. And Paul's cat, Henry, it's actually on YouTube, actually. They recorded it. Nicola coming in from work, that's his wife, and the cat Henry would sit at the top of the stairs because I lived in an apartment, and he'd go, Mama, Mama. It was a meow, but it sounded like And he would go, where's your mummy? And Henry the cat would go, mama, mama, like that. Don't underestimate animals. You know, animals are very psychic, and animals may not be able to talk, but they're psychic. Look at like kids, you know, who are like have got problems, you know, handicapped children, but they're also very psychic because they can't maybe not speak, but they can communicate with the spirit world. They're using, because they can't use that part of the brain, they're using that part of the cortex of the brain, and they can they're more psychic, you know. So I believe animals, I mean, Sissy, my little Sissy, my Jack Russell, she could see spirit. Yeah, she would go, and then start growling, and she could see spirit. So animals are giving us messages where we are all as one. So where this awful system is breaking, I'm going to tell you something. The system has to break, but the food industry comes in on this system. So you could look at this two ways. It's like the evil elite are trying to starve us out, or there's a bigger picture, which I believe, because yeah, there will be evil people out there, but the bigger picture, which I'm putting out in my next video, which is going out tomorrow night on YouTube, you've got entities, humanoid people who are working with people on this planet who know to bring in Space Force and everything to eradicate. They'll know, you know, about cancers and awful things, how we can live longer. It means that we can't, you know, they'll not want us to eat bacon butties or pork or beef because it's not good for our body and processed food. So where we're thinking that there's a badness behind breaking this system, there's also a goodness behind breaking this system. And that doesn't mean we're going to be, you know, they're going to force us to eat bugs, like you've got all this hysteria what's going out, because the truth's trying to come out. There's more to it. There's more to it. It just means that when I've been transported and I've seen and remote viewed onto these starships, you know, some of them are vegetarian and some of them are meat eaters. But if you were transported on one of these mother ships, you might be able to get a cheese sandwich, but you'll not be able to have a McDonald's. Does that make sense? So they'll cater for different entities, so some of these humanoid, there's so many different star nationalities out there, do eat extraordinary things which we would never dream of eating. Because there's different cultures. Just look at around the world. Like parts of China where they have bats and soup. I don't know, I couldn't do it tonight where you would want us to lay out a 3-card pentagram spread and tell me the results. You would need to contact us by email so I can give you like a proper personal look into it. Or watch when I'm doing personal stuff and then you can ask personal stuff. What was I saying? So some of them eat awful, sea-like creatures which look like great big eels. There's great big water worlds out there. Yeah. But we would be horrified. You know, we wouldn't want to. If you walked into one of these canteens, you could have all these sort of different beings lined up. And they might be serving eels and God knows what from some water world, you know. Where we would pass out. We couldn't eat stuff like that. But there may be salads they sell on these spaceships and cheese sandwiches and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? And I do believe there's coffee. I do believe that they cater for coffee for humans in tea. I think that they've got great revelations to bring forward for what to do with tea in some other leaf, not just tea, which is very good. And they've got great fruits and vegetables that they want to introduce onto our planet. But they also they don't think it's a good thing, what I've been given from the Pleiadians and other races, they don't think it's a good thing that we drink milk. With the milk that's got the hormones in and stuff like that, it's not good. Their children have this pulp, like stuff what comes out of this sort of vegetable fruit, which has got every nutrient in, which is good for the humanoid body, and their babies thrive on it. It's like a pulp stuff, and they have it in smoothies and all this, that type of thing, and so they know a lot of our stuff that we're eating's not good for the body, and eventually can cause, they live longer because they have more knowledge. So I'm not going to start harping on about what the meat industry's doing and what the farmers are doing and how they're killing the piggies, and I'm not going to go down that route tonight. I've tried to give up meat. It's very, very hard. And some of us are carnivorous, and they understand that. But some of us aren't carnivorous. But there'll be great substitutes, and until these beings come forward with these great substitutes, which they're going to be seeped in, unfortunately some of us still have to eat meat until these great substitutes come forward. I've tried twice to give up meat and I became very sick because I have trouble with anemia. So we would need some form of protein, which they have. And that's their plan. They're going to seep it in. And it'll be seeped in. So I said this a couple of years ago, never mind the politics. Never mind the biggest thing, the threat is going to be the food, because we're going to have scandals to do with the meat industry. And I said this last year. I'm sure I did. And the year before. I'm sure I said it last year. But then once they start with the ban the plastic, that's when the shit's going to hit the fan. Because the amount of plastic what's in the food industry, and it's going to affect a lot of industries. So the easier the transition, the better. And I'm not saying that we're going to stop drinking milk as a society. I don't mean that, or stop eating chicken. But there's new laws what's going to be brought into place by farmers and things, and they're putting the high in hormones. Never mind what's in the frigging tap water. I'll not even go there. But hormones and antibiotics and all sorts of things what's going into our food, which is causing these illnesses. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I mean, how deep do you want to go down the rabbit hole? You know what I mean? We're being guided, and there's a bigger force. I've put these back together again. I've shuffled them again. The bigger force is these guys behind. And I don't want to say too much because there's a video coming out tomorrow night on it. But it goes beyond what we would ever know. It's just terrible. I used to have chickens. I used to have pet chickens. Bless them. I did have a cockerel called Donald. I had a Donald the cockerel, and I had my girls. And then at night time I'd say, come on into bed. I put them in the pen. And then they would go in, he would jump in first, put his wings out, and they would sit underneath his wings. He was dead canny. The eggs were amazing. But then somebody tried to, with us living in quite a tight clique of a community, neighbours had complained about his cock-a-doodle doing in the morning. So I had to get him rehomed. Then he went to the gangster. He went to live with drug dealers who took them in because they know that nobody would snitch on Donald living with the gangsters. So then Donald McCockerell went off to live with the gangsters to the other end of the estate, and I was allowed to keep the girls. So the girls were lovely, and once you've had homegrown, laying eggs, you don't want to go back to supermarket eggs. They're beautiful, but they're very clever chickens. I hasten to add, all the time I had me chickens, I never ate chicken because I felt guilty. Don't ask me why I couldn't eat a chicken while I had me chickens, but I couldn't. But there was one, it was a sunny afternoon because I would let them run around in the garden, and then at night time I would put them away because we'd get foxes come in. And I was getting ready upstairs. I was waiting for someone coming. It might have been a client, and I always had the cartoons on for Sissy and Oliver because Oliver used to like watching The Simpsons. And I came down the stairs, and Oliver and Sissy were sitting on the settee watching The Simpsons, and so was the chicken. So the chicken decided to come in, and she was sat on the settee with the two dogs watching The Simpsons. What do you think of that? Literally watching the television. So they're quite intelligent animals. What means cagey? I don't know what means cagey. So, 7 of cauldrons. So what we've perceived to be bad is good, and what, it's like it's all very, we've grown up into different cultures and different superstitions, and then the Q thing didn't help, and then we've all gone down with rabbit holes, and then we've all awakened, and it's like we're all trying to find our truth. But this world's about to massively, massively change. Massively change. And the food industry is going to change, but we'll not become starving. I'm telling you now, we'll not become starving. I do think we should food prep, because I think there could be, if anything, as somebody had asked earlier on, trade's going to be a problem, and that's what's going to kick China off. Remember, there's going to be a big falling out, and it's some big news to come in around China. That's what I'm getting. And it could cause trade problems. But Israel's going to be connected as well. And then there's going to be trade problems which could affect us globally, but we will be all right. It's breaking the old system down, where the bad people are trying to break the old system down. The good guys want it to break as well, so they can build the new system. Do you see what I mean? And it's a new system of global trade. Mark my words. I've never felt so strong. I've seen this for a few years coming in. It's a new bridge of global trade. Turkey's going to be fine. Turkey has got a lot of problems coming in with Russia, but Turkey is very well protected. There's some very ancient burial ground in Turkey, and I'm going way back to extraterrestrials, godly. It's protected. It's like Japan. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 more cards out. Won't the bad guys fight with the good guys on the new trade? They're going to be possibly working together. You've got to understand this is a free will world. You can't change the way people are, but if they're working for the same thing, because we're going to go futuristic. So you might be working with somebody who on the same, they know what has to come in, but one might be going home to be a Christian and one might be going home to be a Satanist. But they're both working on the same thing when they're going to work. Does that make sense? Everything has been manipulated, even religion, by man, to cause hysteria, to cause people to keep with low vibration. Collective moving forward. I want to end this on this, right? That is the system about to fall, which could be problems with trade, intermittent power cuts. But there's a new civilization being built. We are coming out of Atlantis. It's the only way I can describe it. And news will come out with American politics, but not the way you think it is. Into the future, I don't see Biden there. I'm unsure about Trump as well. There's a younger generation to move America forwards. But Trump will try and run again. And like I've said before, he's going to be a very hard man to take down, but they're going to get him on his taxes. But it's a younger person's. That is a younger Republican guy. Or he could be in the middle. But we will be all right. We'll definitely. And yeah, there will be scandals with some banks, but I do believe we're going to be okay. We're in the middle of going through a transition at the minute to a roads. And there is bad guys out there. And some will just go. But I've never been a one who says, oh, this one's going to go to get more and that one's going to go to get more. Because I don't see that. Remember, I stand sovereign on my own and I go with what my guides are giving us. Purple is better. But you'll always have the opposite. To be fair, America is such a huge, massive place. It's like countries within countries and you've got different cultures going on there. It's huge. It's like agreeing to disagree. It's like you can't take the Christianity out of America, and you can't totally remove all the weapons, like the guns, out of America. But you also can't force. There'll be new laws to be made eventually, but you can't force Christianity on America because America has so many different cultures. But there's an agree to disagree. There's an agree to disagree. And I still say that the Republican Party will fall and then will rise again. But I think that there's good and bad on both sides, guys. There's good and bad on both sides. I'm more concerned about what's coming out in Europe than the US at the minute. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on around Trump and that. I try not to buy into it. I just think it's just, here we go again. You go onto it on YouTube and it's like, what now? You know, it's like they're pushing it all the time. He's done this, he's done that, he's done this, he's done that. And it's going to carry on until, while he's in the limelight, they're just going to carry on and on and on. Do you know what I mean? But I keep getting that song, rising up, do, 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 do. So, you know, he's going to be a hard man to take down. But what I want to say is that it's the trade, It's something about Europe, and watch for what's coming out bigger. What's coming out bigger is there's a transition going on behind the scenes, and they don't, these star races, you know, they don't give two shits if Bugs Bunny's in the White House, as long as we are all coming together and healing this world. Do you know what I mean? But I just think that we're in for a massive transition. But we do need a food prep, but not panic buy. There's also big news as well. I'm getting to come in with New York, so possibly watch for that as well. But that could be by next spring, summer. And I see a lot of dancing in the streets, but I don't know if I'm looking into next summer or the following summer. I get the initials BL. BL, and I see a blue sign. I'll look into it the next time when Levi do this bar closer, because I'm getting really tired now. I might look at it. I might put it into my next will predictions, so into me looking glass. When's the next crash? Are you talking about 3D? Because it's already crashed. It's all pretend. Timelines are changing all the time. They're saying 4 months. 4 months from now. There's some sort of short recession, but it's not. It doesn't last long. Hope that's helped. It's 2:33. I'm off to make a hot chocolate and get my PJs on. And I'll be back soon. And I'll look into more. I'll be doing more looking glasses through the week. Remember, it's been a busy time of year. I am jam-packed between now and Christmas. And I literally, impossibly can't squeeze anybody else in before Christmas. Even if they're pleading with us that they're going to pay double. I'm not a machine. So I'm taking bookings now for January. Definitely going into February. But in between all of this, when I get a quiet night, then that's when I do me looking glass. Because you can't force the looking glass, you know. It's like your mother says, like, because I had said to my mother that I was going to cut down on the readings and do more social media. That's my plan. But she says, oh, you better put out loads of looking glasses. I says, I couldn't. It would have to be how-to videos and personal readings. And because scrying, you've got to wait for it to come in. It's like remote viewing. You have to wait for it to come in. You know, otherwise it's false. See if I can see anything more there. DNA and fingerprints. I don't know what that means. Ooh, there's something big coming in to do with an observatory or space or Mars or something. It looks like what I'm seeing is like it looks like a great big observatory. There's some big news coming in. Or something to do with space. So remember that. But I'm going to leave that one with you. I'm sending his angel light your way. I think I've hidden some chocolate biscuits. Oh, guys, I've got to show you this before I go. I'll make his laugh, right? I had, if about a month or so ago, I had gone, where had I gone? B&M. Anyway, I got all the chocolates in for Christmas and the biscuits, you know, like the biscuit treats and that. And I don't have a garage. So my son, Luke, he's got like a big garage. So I said to Tyler, we'll hide them in here. And we'll hide them away from Mummy and Daddy because I like little squirrels. So we'll pack them away and we'll put them in hidey places in the garage. And I said, you watch them and don't let Daddy eat them or Mummy eat them. And I've been asking her every week. She says, no, no, no. And today I looked at her and I says, Grandma is going to have to go through the treats because I need to wrap some of them. And I need to wrap Daddy's roses. And I got hero chat. Always get heroes for a tin of heroes I always get for Adam. And I get a tin of roses, the chocolates, for Luke. And she went, Grandma. And I said, what? She says, Mammy and Daddy ate the roses. I went, what? So she said, dub them in. She says, yes. Because I just looked at them. I was just laughing. So I'll have to get him another tin because I'm soft like that. So I left basically nearly it all down there for them because they're struggling. But I brought this up. Costco's the best for cakes. Oh yeah. But I've got this. I've got my cream crackers. Look at that, guys. Look at the size of this Scottish shortbread. Look at the size of that. Highland speciality. Baked in Scotland. Oh my God. Look at the size of that. It's got the little petticoat ones and buttered shortbread. So I'm going to, because it's nearly Christmas and I work really hard, I'm going to go and make a hot chocolate, get my pyjamas on, and I'm going to go and have one of them. Look at the size of that box. But obviously if I open it up, I'll have to put in an airtight container. Unless it's individual, I'm going to have a look. Yes. I'm going to have a little look. How long until you finished it? How much was it? I think it was about a £5. Oh, the individual. There's individual. Right, so there's another one in there. So let's have a look at this. You are going to have to just have one. Yes, I know. But that's teasing you. If I have a one in front... Oh, mamma mia. Oh, they're a bit bashed. Anybody care for a shortbread biscuit? So... Oh my God. Oh my lordy. Oh. I wonder how many calories I have in them. Oh my God. Have you seen the thickness of them? The Scots. They know how to make a good shortbread biscuit, you know. They really do. I'm so sorry. I think it's going to have to be a cup of tea, actually. Oh, my lordy. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just think they are the most amazing shortbread Sell by date. August 2023. You know what it's called? It's called the Director's Selection. Right, I'm off, and I feel like I'm teasing you eating these, so I'm going to have to go now. I think I might have to have that one there. Is that two together? My God. That's better than an orgasm, that, you know. That's just bloody... just so comforting. My God. I bet there's loads of butter in these. What, make a commercial? Highland speciality shortbread. My God. Oh my God. So you see, I really don't think that we're going to starve. I think that we're going to struggle. But I do believe that we'll be all right. I really do. Aldi has some great choices of biscuits, yeah. Right, I'm off ski, and I'll see you all soon. I don't think I can eat too many of them, do you think? Maybe just one more. Oh my God. I've got plenty of biscuits. Like I say, I'm not even bothered about cigarettes anymore. Just as long as I've got me cookies and me biscuits, I'll be fine. Good night, guys, and I'll see you next week. This is just heaven. There's just no word. I want to know the person who made this recipe. I think it's a proper Scotsman or a little Scottish granny. It's like a little Scottish granny what lives in a little house like that in the Highlands. I'm just standing there with a little pinny on, smiling. Come on in, my dear. Come on in and have your shortbread. I'll see you soon. Oh, it's got to be a granny, hasn't it? It's got to be a granny with a shortbread, with a teapot. Oh, definitely recommend that. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you next week. Channel the granny. Oh my God. I'm off to the Highlands. It's only up the road, you know. It could take us 5 hours to get up to Loch Ness. Oh my God, I need to go up there. Good night, and I'll see you all next week. Bye. Now, how do I get out of here? A to I, you can't have a shortbread. See you next week. Bye.